Well, Dad, I got you here on time. There's your pride and joy just coming off the turntable.
Yes, sirree, the old express. Hold on, Steve. I'll take her down.
Sure jealous of this old boiler, Dad.
Why shouldn't I be? My boy, she's part of me. Or maybe I'm just part of her. I don't know. I took her out on her first run. And I hope I'll be at her throttle when I make my last.
Too bad the old heat's out of date.
What do you mean out of date? You're talking about the Hurricane Express. The fastest train in the country. The fastest train in any country. Out of date. Huh.
Well, I wasn't comparing her to trains.
Them playthings. The Hurricane Express gets you there on time. She's safe, and she's sure.
Okay, Dad. You stick to your engine, and I'll stick to my plane. And I'll beat you to Springfield by 3 hours, as usual.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
If you hauled as many passengers as I do, you wouldn't land them in a week and a half.
You win, Dad. Don't let your rails get rusty. Hi, gang.
It's all tuned up, Larry, and raring to go.
Well, so am I. Gloria. This is a surprise. What are you doing in the enemy's line?
Well, according to this ticket, I'm going to be a passenger on your plane.
Gee, that's great. But what a story for the scandal sheet. Miss Gloria Martin, secretary to the railroad general manager, does her traveling by air.
Well, this is a special occasion. I'm not going to make a habit of it.
I wish you would.
Anyway, I'll get a big thrill out of seeing our railroad from the air.
Well, Gloria, this is an unexpected pleasure.
How are you, Mr. Gray?
Fine, thank you. Isn't it time you were getting ready, Baker?
Why? Aren't pilots allowed to talk to passengers?
Well, sometimes, but not when the manager wants to talk to her himself. I'll see you later, Gloria. I'm glad to see you're getting air-minded at last. When are you going to quit the railroad and come to work for me?
Why, I hadn't given it any thought.
She'll make a notch. I hope that westbound don't hold us up. Don't worry about the westbound. Tom Jordan will have her on the siding when we hit Plainville. Hey, Bill, that pump valve is stuck. Better take a look at it.
They're going to crash.
What are you doing? I'm going to try and sidetrack one of those trains. You can't make a landing here. You crack up the plane. I've got to take that chance. We can't let those trains crash. Has Baker gone crazy? Tell him I said he's not to attempt a landing. Orders from Graves. I knew he'd stop you. He can't stop me. Orders or no orders. Those people are racing to certain death. Yes, Mr. Graves. I gave him your orders, but... Well, you tell Baker he's fired. You take the plane on yourself.
He died instantly.
He might have saved himself if he had jumped.
Jim Baker wasn't that kind. He knew it was his life or ours, and he gave his.
You did this! You killed my father!
It wasn't my fault! Honestly, it wasn't. Honestly, someone struck me down from behind.
Struck you down?
Yeah.
Struck you down?
Uh-huh.
And these wrecks haven't been accidents after all. Oh, but who could have held such a grudge against the railroad?
Why, there's plenty of them. Old Stratton, for instance. Didn't he threaten to get even with the road for sending him to jail? And didn't he escape a while back?
Well, whoever is back of it means my father was murdered. And I'll bring that murder to justice if it takes the rest of my life.
The Hurricane Express. It gets you there. Sometime. you doing here?
I had to come. Dad, you've got to go back.
Back? To prison?
Yes. You were safe in prison. Now they suspect that you're behind all these mysterious accidents on the railroad. There's been another terrible wreck.
Never mind the wreck. I know all about it.
Dad, and you did have something to do with it.
Why, Gloria, are you turning against me, too? I tell you, the railroad company did frame me. They held out evidence in my trial that would have cleared me.
I do believe in you, Dad, and I'm trying to find the papers that you want, but I must be careful.
Does anybody suspect that you're Gloria Stratton?
No. To them, I'm just Gloria Martin, the general manager's secretary.
Good, good. Everything depends upon you. Until you secure that evidence, I'll be a horrid animal, a fugitive from justice.
And when you returned from fixing the pump, where was Jordan?
When I climbed into the cab, Jordan was just reaching for the throttle.
But, Mr. Edwards, I'll tell you, I was just coming to.
Now, we've heard your story, Jordan. Carson,
Yes, sir.
you reported that 59 ran through your signal. Did you see anybody in the engine cab?
Yes, sir, I did.
Who was it?
It was Jordan, the engineer.
That's a lie! You couldn't have seen me. Oh, I get it. It's a frame-up. And you're in on it.
If you're through with me, Mr. Edwards, I'd like to get back to my station.
All right, Carson, you may go. That concludes the inquiry. Jordan, you will remain. The evidence in the case proves that you are guilty of criminal negligence. You are discharged.
Discharged, am I? After 30 years of faithful service. And on the lying word of a boomer agent that drifted in here about 3 months ago.
Need you render a decision now, Mr. Edwards? As counsel for the road, I feel that this matter requires further investigation.
The evidence is clear. My decision is final.
So you're making me the goat. For the past 3 months, things have been going wrong on this road. Late trains, open switches, overlapping orders, mysterious wrecks. And you can't find out who's responsible. Well, you're not going to frame it onto me.
Nobody's trying to frame anything on you, Jordan. You're discharged for cause.
Oh, that's the answer, is it? So you're blacklisting me, driving me out of railroading. All right, Mr. Edwards. You've made a marked man out of me. Now you watch my smoke.
Is that a threat?
I am done talking. Actions speak louder than words.
I believe Jordan told the truth. There must be someone behind all these wrecks, someone with a grudge against the railroad.
Why, Larry, what makes you say that?
Didn't you notice how Carlson acted in there? He was afraid of something. He knew more than he told. And I'm going down to Plainville tonight and check up on him.
Larry, what good would that do you?
Well, I intend to find the man that caused that wreck and murdered my father.
But don't you see, Stevens? Even if Jordan is innocent, we can't admit that there have been any mysterious happenings on the road. We've lost too much business already. The air transport company is eating into our passenger traffic, and
Do you suppose that Walter Gray could be our mysterious enemy?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, he's never forgiven you for having fired him as
traffic manager of the road.
I know, but there's someone else I have more reason to suspect.
Who's that? Stratton. Now that you mention it, you know, it is strange that all these things have happened since he escaped from prison.
You know, I'll never be safe until Stratton is again behind the bars.
Mr. Edwards' office. One moment, please. Mr. Phillips of the Smelter Company is calling you, Mr. Edwards.
Your gold shipment is going on the Hurricane Express tonight. And now I assure you there's nothing to worry about. The man responsible for that wreck is being discharged. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Just as I said, Walter Gray is using the wreck as an argument to get the smelter business away from us. Edwards speaking. Quick, take this down. The Hurricane Express will not get through tonight. The wrecker. Hello? Try and trace that call, will you? And send Mr. Matthews in here to me at once.
Looks as if Jordan was right. If it's the wrecker that struck him down, and he'll try the same game tonight.
Well, if he does, we'll be waiting for him. Oh, Matthews, come here. Come here. Look at this. Now, that's your job. You'll be on that train tonight with as many men as you need. Put a special guard around that gold shipment and have an armed man in the engine cab. We've got to get that wrecker.
This man will be in your engine cab throughout the run.
What's happened? The Hurricane Express. Stop her, or she'll be wrecked. Quick! The wrecker. He's on the Hurricane Express. Don't move.
Okay, Sandy, tie him up too. see anything suspicious?
No, not a thing.
Open up, Henry. It's Matthew. Everything okay, Bill?
Okay. It won't be long now. And what a smash it's going to be.
But what's going to happen to the record? He's on the train.
Don't worry. He won't be on there when she crashes.
It's only Bill.
Hello, Bill. Seen the record yet?
What's happened?
Somebody dragged me in here and knocked me cold.
A wrecker. Here she comes.
Mysterious threats to wreck the Hurricane Express have been made by an unknown enemy of the railroad who calls himself the Wrecker.
Larry Baker, son of a railroad engineer who was killed in a train crash caused by the wrecker, learns that his father's murderer is on board the Hurricane Express. He starts a life-and-death chase of the train and is closely pursued by two agents of the wrecker who intend to keep him from interfering. Meanwhile, on the train, armed detectives are guarding a valuable gold shipment. Several persons who have cause to hate the railroad are on the Hurricane Express. Among them are Walter Gray, head of the rival Air Transport Company, Tom Jordan, a discharged engineer who was blamed for a previous wreck, and Frank Stratton, an escaped convict who was sent to prison for robbing the railroad. Stratton's daughter Gloria is also on the train searching for her father, whom the railroad detectives believe to be the wrecker.
It won't be long now, and what a smash it's going to be.
But what's going to happen to the wrecker? He's on the train.
Don't worry. He won't be on there when she crashes.
It's only Bill. Oh, Bill, seen the wrecker yet?
What's happened?
Somebody dragged me in here and knocked me cold. A wrecker. Here she comes. Consider the smash. That guy Larry Baker put it in and stopped the wreck.
How are we going to get the gold out now? Where's the wrecker?
Why, he got away in the plane. Here he comes now.
He's come back to get the gold.
You stay here and guard the gold. Take no chances. Shoot to kill. I've got you covered. Get out of there. Larry Baker. So you're the wrecker, huh?
I am not. It was the conductor that killed the engineer and guard.
The conductor, eh? We got the man that slugged you, Bill. Can you identify him?
I tell you, he's the wrecker. He was fighting the fireman when I came up in my car.
In your car, eh?
Yes, I was chasing this train to get him, the man that murdered my father in yesterday's wreck.
How did you know the wrecker was on this train?
I found out at the station in Plainville.
And you're positive that this was the man you were fighting with in the engine cab?
I'll swear to it.
That proves your whole story a pack of lies. I found him tied up in the compartment of a Pullman car just before the crash.
Mr. Detective! Mr. Detective! The conductor's done been murdered. Somebody cut his head off. Lord? There's his gold.
Well, looks like everybody's been seeing me in two places at the same time. Show us what you're talking about, Sam. Get busy with the crew. Clear the engines back or down the main line. The Hurricane Express must get through on time.
There he is right over there. See it right there?
Well, can you beat that? It sure looks like me.
No wonder Baker thought he saw me. This proves he told the truth.
So that's how the wrecker works. Well, he can't be far away.
Now let him go. This clears Baker.
Someone's getting away with the gold. Say, we can catch them in the plane.
The wrecker again. We can head him off the next station. I'll get the emergency pole.
Dad, please. Don't you realize...
That's one of Gray's transport planes. I knew that he had a hand in this.
I've got him! I've got the wrecker!
Walter Gray.
Yeah, the head of the air transport line. The one man who had... That's a lie. Who is this crazy fool?
It's Tom Gordon. He used to work for the road.
Yeah, you're the one that made me lose my job. You slugged me and caused the wreck. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just what are you doing here, Mr. Gray?
Why, I was flying overhead and saw the train crash and came down to see if I could help. You did not. You were on the train. I had my eye on you from the start. But you gave me the slip just before the wreck.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gray, but we'll have to hold you until we clear this up.
Why, this is ridiculous. I better phone ahead and stop the engine at Junction Point.
Look, here's the car. We can chase the engine.
Good. You see that Mr. Gray here is turned over to the authorities. And you better stick with him, Jordan. We'll overtake the train at the junction.
You talk like a fool. If I hadn't run off with the express car, those robbers would have got the gold.
But, Dad, the railroad company already believes that you're the wrecker. This makes it look worse.
I'm not trying to steal the gold. It gives me a whip hand over the railroad.
What do you mean, Dad?
They sent me to prison on frame-up. They held out evidence that would have cleared me. And they'll either produce that evidence, or they'll never get this gold again. You...
Wait, Larry! He's my father.
Your father?
Yes. He's trying to take the gold from the record. He thought you were one of his gang.
Oh, so you're working for the railroad, eh?
Yeah. I'm working for the railroad. Why, look. We'll throw a scare into them.
They got to jump or we'll be scalded to death.
The engine's stopping. Swing around, Sandy. We're landing. Well, they shan't get that gold.
Wait a minute. We can't face that machine gun. I've got a better plan.
Be ready to shove off when we come back, Sandy. Okay.
Hide in here until I get the rest of the gold aboard.
All set to go, Sandy? Okay. Barney! Look out! Larry Baker's on the plane. Look out! Keep low!
Thank heavens we're safe now. They're too far away for the bullets to reach us. Larry, the plane's on fire!
That got him.
attacks on the L and R Railroad are the work of an unknown enemy who calls himself the Wrecker. His latest deviltry, an attempt to wreck the Hurricane Express, was foiled by Larry Baker, whose father was murdered by the Wrecker. The engine and the express car have been cut loose from the train, and agents of the Wrecker are transferring a valuable gold shipment from the express car to their big passenger plane. Larry has a plan to outwit the Wrecker's gang with the aid of Gloria Martin, secretary to the railroad manager, and her father, whom Larry believes to be a railroad detective, but who is really an escaped convict and an enemy of the railroad.
Hide in here until I get the rest of the gold. All set to go, Sandy? Okay.
Look out! Larry Baker's on the plane. Look out! Keep low!
Now. They're too far away for the boots to reach him. Larry, the plane's on fire!
That got him. Count 10 before you pull the cord. You'll be all right.
If she hadn't crashed so far away, we'd still have a chance of getting the gold. I've got it. The engine. You're right. We can get her running. We can run down there in no time.
All right so far, Gloria.
Dad!
Marcy, we must get this gold away from here at once before the Wrecker's gang arrive.
But they're miles away from here now, Dad.
But they must have seen the plane crash, and they're sure to follow us.
There must be a farmhouse around here where we can get a car.
Yes, that's a good idea. Oh!
Dad, what is it?
Oh, I hurt my leg when I landed, I guess. Now, you two go after a car, and I'll wait till you get back.
I'd better wait here with Dad. He seems to be badly hurt. Please go alone.
I'll be back soon.
Now, quick. We've no time to waste.
Well, Dad, you're not hurt at all.
Oh, well. I had to do that in order to get Baker to leave us here alone, so he wouldn't suspect anything.
Dad, you're not going to steal the gold.
I'm going to use it as a weapon to fight the railroad.
But that's not the way to clear yourself.
I'm justified in using any means against the people that sent me to prison on a false charge. They held out evidence that would have cleared me. Neither they'll produce that evidence or they'll never see that gold again.
Don't you see you're only making it worse?
Oh, nothing is worse than rotting in jail when you know that you're innocent.
That's right. There's a car coming. Careful, Matthews. I think I saw a light flash in the cab of that engine.
Yeah? Well, you get your gun ready. We'll hand those birds a little surprise.
It's the railroad dick. They left their car in the brush. Let's plant it. What's that? They've got our car!
Hurry, Gloria. This is the last box.
Mind now, if you damage the car any, I'll take it out of your deposit.
Well, I'll be careful.
Gloria! Gloria!
We can't be far from it now. There they are. Stand where you are, Baker. We're going to save you the trouble of getting that gold out of the plane. Here, Sandy, watch him while we get the stuff out. Hey, what you got there, Baker?
It ain't here. The gold's gone. You look at it.
Baker's got the gold! Stop him!
Don't come any further, Dad. Someone might recognize you. When is the next train to town?
There's an early local in a few minutes.
Thank you.
hurt?
No, I guess not. But the thief who we're chasing got away.
Lucky you weren't killed. Well, I'll have to report this. You better come back to town with me.
There's the Jane that was with Baker. She knows where the gold is. We've got to get a hold of her. You slip off the train to the next station and phone Jake and tell him to meet the train with a taxi at the terminal.
Where's the wrecker?
Here he is now.
Walter Gray. So you're the wrecker.
Never mind that. All we want out of you is where Baker hid the gold. You'd better come through. We know you were with Baker when he stole the plane. Speak up, all right? I'm giving you just one more chance to talk.
Up with your hands, every one of you.
Larry!
Quick, Gloria, get the police while I keep them covered. So you're the wrecker. The man who murdered my father. I swore I'd get you.
You're not going to shoot me down in cold blood?
Why shouldn't I? You didn't give my father a chance, did you?
Don't shoot him. He knows where the gold is.
What's the rush, sister? No, you don't. You're staying right here till the wrecker gets through with you.
attacks on the L&R Railroad are the work of an unknown enemy who calls himself the Wrecker. Larry Baker, son of a railroad engineer who was killed in a train crash caused by the Wrecker, believes he has cornered his father's murderer in a hangout, where the Wrecker's agents have imprisoned Gloria Martin, the railroad manager's private secretary.
Where's the Wrecker? Here he is now.
Walter Gray. So you're the Wrecker.
Never mind that. All we want out of you is where Baker hid the gold. You'd better come through. We know you were with Baker when he stole the plane. Speak up, all right? I'm giving you just one more chance to talk.
Up with your hands, every one of you.
Larry!
Quick, Gloria, get the police while I keep them covered. So you're the Wrecker, the man who murdered my father. I swore I'd get you.
You're not going to shoot me down in cold blood?
Why shouldn't I? You didn't give my father a chance, did you?
Don't shoot him. He knows where the gold is.
What's the rush, sister? No, you don't. You're staying right here till the Wrecker gets through with you.
Keep going, boy. I'll be right out.
The Wrecker's gang are after Larry Baker. Come quick.
Wrecker's gang?
Yes.
Come on, Bob.
Is he badly hurt?
No, he's only stunned.
Wonder he wasn't killed.
Well, can't we get him to a doctor?
Yes, we'll take him to the Yard Hospital in my car. Aren't you coming, miss?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm late for work now.
Okay, we'll take care of him.
You don't have to carry me, boys. I'm all right now.
Better let us take you to the hospital so the doc can look you over.
No, thanks. I'm not ready for the hospital. Yet.
Well, Stevens, suppose you've seen the paper. In spite of our precautions, they know all about last night's wreck and the loss of the gold shipment.
Every time anything happens on the road, they know all about it. It must be the Wrecker that tips them off. It's part of his campaign to ruin us.
Perhaps our troubles are at an end. Matthews thinks he caught the Wrecker last night.
Got the Wrecker? Who is he?
The man you suspected. Walter Gray, head of the Air Transport Company. The detectives are bringing him in, and I want you here to...
This is an outrage, Edwards. A vicious attempt to ruin me and my company because you're afraid of our competition. But you can't get away with it, Edwards. You've no case against me.
Our case against you is plenty strong. And if that ain't enough, we got Jordan here to testify against you.
Jordan, a discharged employee. Fired because you didn't believe his story when he himself was on trial. Two can play at this game. I'll sue the railroad for libel, and I'll break you, Edwards, before I'm through.
Wait here till I come back.
I'd advise you to let Gray go, Edwards. Jordan is of no use to us as a witness. You discredited him yourself. And besides, if we...
I'm afraid you're right. We know that Gray was at the wreck with his plane, but we have no positive evidence.
I have some interesting information for you, Mr. Edwards.
What is it, Baker?
I just found out who the wrecker is. It's Walter Gray.
What?
It's a fact. I just saw him meet his gang at their hideout. I tried to capture him, but he got away.
That's impossible. Why, Gray's in my office now.
How did he get here?
We just brought him in on the train.
But I had him at the point of a gun not 15 minutes ago.
I'm telling you, it couldn't have been Gray you saw. You must be dreaming.
He's lying. Trying to get even with me for discharging him from my service as an air pilot.
That isn't true, Gray, and you know it. My only interest in this matter is finding my father's murderer.
I suppose that was why you were on the engine cab last night, running away with the express car.
Is that true, Baker?
It is true, and he can't deny it.
Well, I don't deny it. I was on the engine. But I was only helping a secret agent of the railroad to save the gold shipment from the bandits.
A secret agent? Was that one of your men?
No. What was the man's name?
Why, his name... Well, come to think of it, he didn't tell me his name.
What did it look like?
Well, it was night, and it was rather dark in the engine cab. I can't describe him very well.
Bah, the whole thing's a trumped-up story to save himself.
It looks that way.
Yes. For all we know, Baker's the wrecker himself.
You're under arrest, Baker. Frisk him, Henny. He may have a gun.
A gold bar.
Let me see it. So, you did steal the gold shipment. Come clean now. Where have you hidden the rest of it?
Mr. Edwards' office.
Put me on Edwards' line.
You must be careful, Dad. Someone may be listening in and you may be captured.
Now, don't waste time arguing. I know what I'm doing.
Hello? Yes. Edward speaking. Who? What? It's Stratton, and he says that he has the gold.
Just a moment, Mr. Edwards. Take Baker into the outer office, Hemmy, and don't let him get away.
Come on, you.
Well, what does he say?
Stratton accuses me of holding back evidence at his trial. He claims there are papers here that will prove his innocence. That's why he stole the gold shipment, to make me give up those papers.
Now, what papers?
I haven't the slightest idea what he's talking about.
Well, make him think you've got him. Agree to anything, but get him alone so we can lay a trap and capture him.
Very well, Stratton. I accept your terms. Now, what do you want me to do?
You won't see me, but I'll see you all right. And don't you try any tricks.
Well?
I'm to take the train to milepost 59. Wait till the train pulls out, then walk south away from the tracks. Stratton will meet me and...
Good. We'll go right along with him.
No, that won't do. Stratton will be on the lookout, and if he sees you, he won't show up.
So much the better. You get off at milepost 59. Hemingway and I'll go on to Forsyth Station. We can get the agent's car there and double back in no time.
I'll take a dummy package of documents along with me, and,
What is it, Barney? I can't read that Morse code stuff.
It's from the wrecker. Come on, we've got to get to the Forsyth station.
Here, none of that. Can't pull any tricks on me.
You fool, I'm not trying to escape. I just saw two of the Wreckers gang down there.
Applesauce.
Don't waste time, man, or they'll get away. Get after them. This is our only chance to find out who the Wrecker is.
Here, no, you don't. You get back there, I'll...
Save your apologies, Mr. Edwards. Don't think I'm through with you and your railroad.
Hey, Matthews, Baker's getting away. What? Matthews, wait a minute. There's no time for Baker now. We've barely time to set our trap for Stratton.
Yeah, you're right. We can get Baker anytime.
Don't look back. There's somebody trailing us.
Who is it?
I don't know, but we're going to find out. Step on it.
Okay.
The wrecker's orders are to get Baker. Now is our chance. Well, we'll need something to jack her up. Go up down the road and get some fence posts.
Jump in quick and we'll capture the wrecker. Here's a message he sent to his gang.
Jump in, Hemmy. Let her go.
Stop there, Edward.
Did you bring those papers, Edwards? Yes, here they are. Why, your voice is different, Edwards. It must have changed during the years that I spent in jail. Face the other way and put your hands behind your back. Yes. This is the evidence that I need to clear me. All right, Edwards. You've kept your part of the bargain. Now I'll show you where the gold is. You go ahead. My car's over yonder. That's Stratton, all right. Edwards is with him, and they're headed for the gold mine.
Look out, Dad! It's a trap! The detectives are coming to get you.
Get out of the car.
You're not Mr. Edwards.
Keep quiet. I'll trouble you for those papers, Stratton. I won't give them up. It means my life. It will mean your daughter's life if you don't. Now you show me where the gold is. It's in the mine shaft. Keep away from that dynamite. Now the sound, Stratton, or your daughter dies.
Help! Quick! In the mine shaft, the wrecker!
The Hurricane Express has been wrecked, and a valuable gold shipment stolen by agents of a mysterious criminal who calls himself the Wrecker. Frank Stratton, an escaped convict, has notified the railroad that he has the gold and will return it in exchange for certain documents that will clear him of the charges on which he was sent to prison. The railroad manager, Howard Edwards, has gone to meet Stratton at the appointed place, intending to trap him. Meanwhile, Edwards' secretary, Gloria Martin, who is really Gloria Stratton, the convict's daughter, has learned of the plot and is racing to warn her father. Gloria's friend, Larry Baker, whose father was murdered by the wrecker, is also headed in the same direction, accompanied by 2 railroad detectives, knowing that the wrecker intends to meet Stratton and recover the gold by force.
Look out, Dad! It's a trap! The detectives are coming to get you!
Get out of the car.
You're not Mr. Edwards.
Keep quiet. I'll trouble you for those papers, Stratton.
I won't give them up. It means my life.
It will mean your daughter's life if you don't. Now you'll show me where the gold is.
It's in the mine shaft.
Keep away from that dynamite. Now the sound, Stratton, or your daughter dies.
Help! Quick! In the mine shaft, the wrecker!
That was a woman's voice we heard. We'll see what's behind this door.
Stop, Ed! It's Larry Baker.
Why, Gloria, then it was your voice we heard. Where's the wrecker?
He got away. It was he who blew up the tunnel.
Well, who is he? Did you get a good look at him?
It was Edwards.
Edwards? That's impossible.
No, it wasn't Mr. Edwards. I could tell by his voice. It was someone wearing a mask that looked like him.
But I don't understand. What are you and your here?
I came here to warn my father that the detectives had set a trap for him.
Then you are Frank Stratton, the escaped convict? The man who looted the railroad?
Larry, my father's an innocent man. He was sent to prison on false charges.
Yes, I was framed. Edwards held out evidence that my child would have cleared me.
But you did run away with a gold shipment from the Hurricane Express.
You know I took it only to save it from the wreckers gang. But I'm holding it now because it's the only weapon that I can use to force Edwards to clear me.
Oh, Baker, where are you?
Larry, won't you give my father a chance? If he goes back to prison now, he'll never be able to prove his innocence.
Can you get out that way?
Baker, where are you?
Okay, I'm coming.
Did you find anything?
There's no trace of the wrecker in that chest.
Must have missed him. He couldn't have gone out any other way.
This is where the wrecker said to stop them railroad detectives.
Oh, we're too late now.
Yeah, but we'd better stick around. The wrecker will find some way to get word to us.
It's the boss, and into the jam. Come on.
Does that incoming freight stop here, Carlson?
No, that's a fast freight. Go straight on through.
Well, you've got to stop it. The wrecker's aboard.
Oh, I can't hold up any train on your say-so.
I have always suspected you were working for the wrecker. Now it looks like you're trying to help him get away. Are you going to stop that train or not?
You got me all wrong, Baker. I'm as keen to get the wrecker as you are. I'll try and stop it.
What's up, Carlson? The wrecker's aboard your train, conductor, with a mask of Mr. Edwards, and he mustn't get away. I'm Jim Baker's son. You know, my father was murdered by the wrecker.
Well, if the wrecker's on the train, we'll sure nail him. Break the train, boy. Grab anybody you find stealing a ride.
I've got it!
Jordan! Why are you sneaking away when we're searching for the wrecker?
Well, you're crazy. I'm looking for the wrecker myself.
Why should you look for him?
Why shouldn't I? He caused the wrecker made me lose my job.
Baker, what do you make of this?
The wrecker's mask. Where did you find it?
I found it in this car.
Well, that clinches it. Jordan was just sneaking out of that car when I grabbed him. He's the wrecker. Get on through there.
So, Jordan's the wrecker. I'm not surprised. I've suspected him ever since the first wreck of the Hurricane Express.
I owe you an apology, Carlson, for the way I talked to you a while back. But frankly, I didn't believe you were telling the truth about Jordan's train running through the signal.
He was lying. I didn't run through that signal. I was lying unconscious in the cab because the wrecker knocked me out.
Why, your own fireman was right in the cab with you. He testified at the inquiry.
Save yourself, Bill. Jump!
When they fired you for causing the wreck, didn't you threaten to get even with the railroad? And haven't you been trying ever since to wreck the Hurricane Express? You framed me. You lied at my trial. Are you working with the wrecker yourself?
That'll do, Jordan. I'm arresting you on pretty good proof that you're the wrecker. And we'll lock you in the station until the next train comes along.
This will hold him, I guess.
Call the dispatcher and have him stop the express to pick Jordan up. So long, Baker.
How does the Hurricane Express do?
3:30.
Well, pretty soon I'll have the record behind the bars. The man who murdered my father. Well, your clock must be slow, Carlton. I hear that train coming now.
Why? That isn't the express. She didn't signal. Runaway boxcar. She'll crash the express if we don't stop her.
Can you warn the express?
There's no chance now.
A mysterious criminal who calls himself the Wrecker has wrecked the Hurricane Express and caused the death of the engineer. Larry Baker, who vowed to bring his father's murderer to justice, has captured Tom Jordan, a discharged employee of the railroad, whom he believes to be the wrecker. The capture of Jordan has removed Larry's former suspicions of Carlson, a railroad station agent whom he once believed to be the tool of the wrecker.
Well, pretty soon I'll have the wrecker behind the bars. The man who murdered my father. Well, your clock must be slow, Carlson. I hear that train coming now.
Why, that isn't the express. She didn't signal. Runaway boxcar. She'll crash the express if we don't stop her.
Can you warn the express?
There's no chance now.
Mr. Edwards! Hurry, Baker! This car jumped the track the first curve it hit.
I don't know how to thank you, Baker. You saved the Hurricane Express again. And this time, my life as well. Now, if there's anything I can do...
Oh, forget it, Mr. Edwards. But who tied you up in that boxcar?
Stratton, the escaped convict.
Stratton?
Yeah. I went out to meet him near milepost 59 to make a deal for the return of that gold shipment he stole from the Hurricane Express. He knocked me out. That's all I know.
But it couldn't have been Stratton. It must have been the wrecker.
What makes you think so?
Because the wrecker, wearing a mask of you, met Stratton at the abandoned mine and tried to get the gold from him.
And did he get it?
No, but I got him.
You got the wrecker? Who is he?
Your former engineer, Tom Jordan. He's locked up in the station at Plainville.
Let's get there just as soon as we can.
That's one of Walter Gray's transport planes.
Yeah. I wonder why it landed here.
Carlson, where are you? Jordan's escaped and Carlson's disappeared.
They must have got away in that plane.
You mean, you think Gray's mixed up with the wrecker?
I've always thought so. He's the only person who could benefit by all these attacks on our railroad.
Well, in that case, I'll go down to the airport and check up on that plane we saw.
Good. I'll stay here until the dispatcher can send somebody out to take the place of Carson.
Lend me a hand with him, Gray. We'll have to carry him to the car. You know where to take him?
Yes, sir.
Then you didn't find out where Stratton hid the gold?
No, I had to make a quick getaway.
What became of the mask?
I don't know. Baker had it when the conductor locked me up at Plainville.
Yeah, Baker's always throwing a monkey wrench into our plans. We'll have to take care of him.
What are you spying around here for, Baker?
None of your business.
Baker, get out of here, quick. I climbed snooping, sir. You've no right here, Baker.
I came here to get Jordan, and you're not going to stop me.
Well, did you find him?
No, but I will.
What do you want Jordan for, anyhow?
He's a wrecker.
Draw up a chair, Baker.
Oh, you're working with a wrecker, eh?
You're too fond of accusing people, Baker. Why, you've even accused me. As a matter of fact, you yourself were arrested as the wrecker and escaped from custody.
I've been cleared of that charge.
You don't say. Well, just the same, I'm going to hold you as an escaped prisoner. Take him, boys.
Why?
Coming quiet, ain't you?
That man you told me to take care of, sir, he disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes, sir. When I got there, he wasn't in the car.
That's all right, Bates. Forget it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look at this sagebrush. The car's been in the desert, all right. Matthews, what in the world are you doing?
Hello, Mr. Edwards. This is the car in which Stratton escaped from the abandoned mine.
Are you sure? Whose car is it?
It belongs to your secretary, Miss Martin.
Impossible. You must be mistaken.
Here's a registration certificate. She's mixed up with Stratton somehow. She must have gone out to warn him that we were planning to trap him.
I'll go right upstairs and question her.
I wouldn't do that, Mr. Edwards. If she doesn't know we suspect her, we can trail her and get Stratton. Put that back, Hemmy.
Mr. Edwards.
Hello, Miss Martin. Everything been going all right?
Yes, sir. But there's a lot of work that needs attention here.
Oh, she's not likely to communicate with Stratton in the daytime. Can't you arrange with her to work nights so that we can watch her?
That's a good idea. This must be the wrecker now.
Wonder what he wants us for.
Larry Baker is locked up in a storehouse at the airport. He knows too much.
Okay, boss. Leave him to us.
He must have run around the back. Head him off on both sides.
Barney, what? You got the wrong man.
Spread out.
He ain't far off.
Hello? That's fine, Jordan. I'll be over there in a few minutes. I'll meet you near the roundhouse. Be sure to keep under cover. The railroad building.
Come here.
What's the matter here? Who tied you up?
Larry Baker. He took my uniform and drove the boss away.
Where to?
The railroad office.
Come on.
Wait here, Bates.
Are you sure the girl knows where Stratton is?
Yes, and we've got to act quick. The detectives are planning to trail her tonight.
We'll have to get rid of them and follow the girl when she leaves. We must get hold of Stratton at any cost.
Any chance of Baker interfering?
Not a chance. I've got him locked up over at the airport.
Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Edwards. Where's Gloria?
She doesn't work here at night.
Oh, that's strange. The car's downstairs. Gloria!
It's the wrecker wearing the mask of Mr. Edwards. He went out the window.
Mysterious criminal known as the Wrecker has wrecked the Hurricane Express and caused the death of the engineer. Larry Baker, who vowed to bring his father's murderer to justice, has reason to believe that the Wrecker is Walter Gray, head of the Air Transport Company. Larry has just escaped from agents of the Wrecker, who have orders to prevent him from interfering with the plans of the mastermind.
Wait here, Bates.
Are you sure the girl knows where Stratton is?
Yes, and we've got to act quick. The detectives are planning to trail her tonight.
We'll have to get rid of them and follow the girl when she leaves. We must get hold of Stratton at any cost.
Any chance of Baker interfering?
Not a chance. I've got him locked up over at the airport.
Oh, hello, Mr. Edwards. Where's Gloria?
She doesn't work here at night.
Oh, that's strange. Her car is downstairs. Gloria!
It's the wrecker wearing the mask of Mr. Edwards. He went out the window.
The railroad detective. Here, before they see us.
What are you doing here, Baker?
The wreckers gang. Capture them and we'll find out who the wrecker is.
And I'm positive she came this way.
It's Edwards. What's he acting that way for?
Hey, no, it ain't. It's Carlson. Gee, what do you know about that? I didn't do anything. I
You didn't, eh? You stole that mask of Edwards from the station at Plainville.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No use lying. We saw you take it off. What's your game, Carlson? You're coming with us, Carlson. We can make very good use of you.
And I heard Gray and Jordan plotting to trail you and capture your father.
Walter Gray? Well, why should he wish to harm my father?
Because your father got away with a gold shipment after the wreck of the Hurricane Express.
But he was only trying to save it from the wrecker.
That's just it. Gray is either the wrecker or he's working with him. I've got to leave you. I must get back to the car.
Be careful, Larry. They're desperate.
So am I. I can't miss this chance of finding out who the wrecker is.
Home, mate.
Yes, sir.
Give you a sample of what you can expect if you don't come clean. I tell you, I don't know anything about it.
Where are you taking us, Bates? I told you to drive home.
It'll be a long time before you get home, Mr. Gray.
We're all going for a ride.
Stop this car, Baker. Stop, I tell you, or I'll shoot.
Go ahead and shoot, and we'll all go over the cliff together.
Try and turn off the switch.
Stay where you are. You'll sign your own death warrant. Okay, Baker. I've got them covered. So you didn't have the nerve to shoot me, Gray. You're the kind that sends hired gunmen to kill a man after you have him locked up and your alibi all set.
Gunman? What are you talking about?
Don't try to lie to me, Gray. I know you're the wrecker. You're the man that killed my father, and you're gonna pay now.
Wait, Baker. Give me a chance to explain.
Explain? How will you explain what you did to me today? Why you and Jordan kidnapped Carlson in your plane, and what you were doing at the railroad yards tonight.
I know you won't believe me, but the truth is, Jordan and I are both as anxious to find the wrecker as you are. You're not the only person that suspected I was the wrecker. The railroad officials suspected me because my airlines got all the business they lost on account of the mysterious train wrecks. Hey, they suspected me, too. They blame me for the wreck of the Hurricane Express on the strength of the lies that Carson told at my trial. We had to try and clear ourselves, so we figured Carlson was a tool of the wrecker, and we resolved to wring the truth out of him. Yeah, he got away from us, but we ran across him tonight again at the railroad yards, taking off the mask of Edwards.
What? Carlson wearing the mask? Then it was you locked up Miss Martin and rifled the safe.
Back up or I'll drill you. Get out of the car, quick, all of you.
Don't try to start anything. You're going to the railroad office first thing in the morning, and we'll get at the bottom of it.
That's something the wrecker will want to know.
What? Baker's taking Carlson into Edwards' office? All right, I'll attend to it.
Is Mr. Edwards in, Gloria?
Why, yes. I'll tell him you're here.
Send him in. But I tell you, we're operating our railroad at a dead loss.
Even the stockholders are beginning to demand a change of management. I'll see you later.
What's the meaning of this, Baker?
This is the man who broke into your office last night, Mr. Edwards. All his actions are suspicious. He's either the wrecker or he knows who the wrecker is.
There's my car. Baker must be around here somewhere.
All right, Mr. Gray, I'll wait around here and pick up Baker when he comes back.
But that doesn't explain what you were doing in my office last night.
But I can't tell you anymore. My life is in danger. I've been threatened. I tell you, they'll kill me if I speak.
You have nothing to fear, Carlson. I'll see that you are fully protected.
It's your only chance to prove you're telling the truth.
Come on now. Tell us what you know.
All right. I'll tell you everything. The night the Hurricane Express was wrecked,
I'll get help.
Larry, what's the matter? Who hurt you?
It was your father.
My father? Why, that's impossible.
I'm sure of it. I recognized him instantly.
He was miles away in another town. I had just finished talking to him over the phone when you came in. Why, it would have taken him an hour to get here.
And it must have been the wrecker wearing a mask of your father.
That's Baker now.
You're Larry Baker?
Yes, why?
You're under arrest for kidnapping Walter Gray, stealing his car, and assaulting his chauffeur.
Oh, let me go. A man's been killed and I'm trying to capture the murderer.
Yeah, you'll have plenty of time to tell that to the judge.
It was Stratton who fired that shot. I saw him distinctly.
Track down on Gloria Martin. She'll lead us to Stratton.
I've got a dictograph rigged up in her office. I'll get in on the line and see if I can find out anything. You'd better notify the authorities.
Yes, sir.
I'll be back shortly.
Yes, Mr. Edwards.
Yes, Gloria, what is it?
Carlson has just been shot in Mr. Edwards' office by a man impersonating you. Larry Baker tried to get the man who did the shooting, but he's been arrested on a charge of abduction.
Baker's been trying to protect me. I've got to get him out of jail, that's all.
Hopeless. The bail will be tremendous.
I don't care how much it is. I'm going to the mine to get some of the gold.
Well, you mustn't do that. There are enough charges against you already.
I don't care. Baker's got into this mess trying to help me, and I'm going to get him out of it.
Oh.
Well, we got our man. He's on his way to the gold mine.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. I just heard him telling it to Miss Martin over the phone.
Well, we'll get there first and give him a little surprise party.
The wrecker sure knows his stuff. Here's our chance.
Just a minute, miss. We have a message for you from your father.
Hurricane Express has been wrecked by agents of a mysterious criminal who calls himself the Wrecker, and a valuable gold shipment has disappeared. At the railroad offices, detectives have installed a dictograph system in order to trap Gloria Martin, the general manager's secretary, whom they suspect of being an agent of the Wrecker.
The Wrecker sure knows his stuff. Here's our chance.
Just a minute, miss. We have a message for you from your father.
We'll take her to her father. All the batteries on. We'll have to crank it by hand.
Don't thank me for bailing you out. Mr. Edwards arranged that.
Well, it was sure swell of him.
The least the railroad could do for you after having twice saved the Hurricane Express.
Well, if you're going back to the office, I'd like to trail along. I have a lot of things I'd like to talk over with Mr. Edwards.
You've got your nerve coming in here, Jordan. You were fired and told to stay away. Now, get out.
I was hoping that you'd reconsider my case, Mr. Edwards, on account of things that have happened since I was discharged. Why, you yourself just had an experience with a record that nearly cost you your life. I guess you know now what it means to be knocked on the head and tied up in a runaway boxcar. Well, you're
The clock must be slow, Carlson. I hear that train coming now.
Why? That isn't the express. She didn't signal. Runaway boxcar. She'll pass the express if we don't stop her.
Can you warn the express?
There's no chance now.
Mr. Edwards! Larry Baker! He's caught our jumping jack the quick clever hit!
It was the wrecker that tied you up in that boxcar. The same man that struck me down on my engine cab. He, not I, caused the wreck of the Hurricane Express and killed Larry Baker's father.
May all be true, Jordan, but there's too much evidence against you. You're wasting your time.
Good day. You've made me the goat long enough, Edwards. And there's going to be a showdown. You know who the wrecker is. And I believe you're shielding him.
I've had enough of this. Now get out!
All right, Edwards. But from now on, I'm playing the game your way.
Larry, we need your help. These mysterious attacks are not only ruining the railroad, they're a public menace. And I believe that Walter Gray is responsible for it all.
You're right, Edwards. Our loss is his gain. His air transport line can only survive by getting business away from the railroad.
And I further believe that Stratton is mixed up with him, too. If he hadn't shot Carson, we would have learned who the wrecker is.
It wasn't Stratton, Mr. Edwards.
Then who was it?
The man who did the killing wore a mask of Stratton in order to put the blame on him.
Yes? Gloria Martin? Yes. Where?
Kidnapped by wreckers gang. Phone Edwards. L and R Railroad. Signed, Gloria Martin. Yes, we're trying to trace them now.
Something's happened to Gloria. Her car went over the embankment at Death's Curve, but she left a message saying that she had been kidnapped by the Wreckers gang.
The Records gang? I've got to get out there and try and pick up her trail.
Use my car, Baker.
Thank you.
Thanks, officer.
All right. Bring him in.
Dad! What does this mean?
It means that your father is going to tell where he hid the gold that he stole from the Hurricane Express.
You'll never get that gold.
No. You know what to do. Maybe that'll open your mouth. All right, Sandy. Now will you tell?
I don't remember.
I'll help your memory. Again, Sandy.
Oh, stop it, I'll tell. It's hidden away in the shaft of the old Forsyth barn.
We'll keep your daughter here to make sure you're telling the truth. Keep a watch on her. Don't let her get away.
What are you doing here?
Now, be a nice girl and tell me where you've got Gloria Martin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You wouldn't want me to call the police, would you?
Larry! Record gang have taken Dad to the mine. They're after the gold.
We might stop them if we hurry.
We've got to get there quickly. The railroad detectives are at the mine to arrest my father. I was on my way to the mine to warn him when I was kidnapped.
Brought his gang along.
We better lay low and see what happens.
It's buried under there.
Let's go, men.
That's the wreckers' gang, all right. It's just as I thought. Stratton's in with them. Hands up. Don't move. You're covered.
Under cover, men.
Matthews and Hemingway must have surprised the wreckers gang. Get under cover and wait for me. Laurie is outside. Watch your chance and slip out to him.
I've got Stratton.
At an abandoned mine, railroad detectives are waiting to trap Frank Stratton, an escaped convict, whom they believe to be the mysterious criminal known as the Wrecker. Stratton has been captured by agents of the Wrecker, who wish to make him reveal the hiding place of a valuable gold shipment that was stolen from the Hurricane Express. Meanwhile, Stratton's daughter, Gloria, is racing to his rescue, accompanied by Larry Baker, whose father was murdered by the Wrecker.
That's the wreckers' gang, all right. Just as I thought. Stratton's in with them. Hands up. Don't move. You're covered.
Under cover, men.
Matthews and Hemingway must have surprised the records gang. Get under cover and wait for me.
Larry!
Gloria's outside. Watch your chance and slip out to her.
I've got Stratton. After him! We got Stratton anyway.
You're going back to jail where you belong.
Oh, Gloria. Oh, thank heaven you're safe.
My father isn't guilty.
Your father, eh?
He escaped from prison in order to prove his innocence.
Yeah? And I suppose that's why he killed Carlson and stole the gold from the Hurricane Express.
No. I took it to force the railroad to produce the evidence which I know was suppressed at my trial.
And I can prove that my father wasn't near the office when Carlson was shot.
And we can prove you've been using your position as Mr. Edwards' secretary to get inside information to help an escaped convict. Mr. Edwards has asked me to tell you that you needn't come back anymore.
I'm sorry, Gloria, but you have been forced into this dreadful situation.
That's all right, Dad. Don't lose faith. I'll get the evidence to clear your name.
Let's be on our way.
Baker, what are you doing around this neck of the woods?
I've got the gold shipment that was stolen from the Hurricane Express. Now the records gang are after it. So put it in your station safe and notify headquarters, quick.
Did you know them blocks had been tampered with and the box is open?
Pieces of iron have been substituted for the gold. Well, it won't take that gang long to find me here. Now, if they try to hold you up, don't offer any resistance. Help me out with these boxes. When they get their hands on this, they'll lead us right to the record.
Must have taken the side road.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Well, let's try it.
He's turning over the gold to the station agent. This is going to be a cinch. load him into the car while I telephone the boss.
Yes? You've got it at last. Good. Now listen. Keep away from the old meeting place. Bring it to 27 Main Street. I'll be there at 8 o'clock tonight. Okay.
Don't make a sound.
Hey, Sandy, we're all set. Let's get going.
Sure we will, but inside. Come on. Now line up. Fresco. I'm going to keep your date with the record tonight. And in the meantime, Bob, turn these men over to the crew of the first train that comes through.
It'll be the last date you'll ever keep.
I'll flag the first passenger train that comes along. It's due in a couple of hours. Hello, Stephen. Sit down.
Well, what's in your mind, Edward?
Stephen, if we don't stop these mysterious attacks on the railroad, the stockholders are going to demand a change of management.
Well, why not change our detectives, Matthews and Hemingway? They're making no progress towards capturing the wrecker.
It's hardly their fault. No, we're up against a mastermind. Only a super criminal could have thought of using those lifelike masks the wrecker wears to impersonate me and others.
I tell you, the wrecker is Walter Gray of the Air Transport Line. Our loss is his gain.
I don't think so. I'd sooner suspect Jordan or Stratton.
Well, Jordan, did you get your job back?
I had a talk with Mr. Stevens. He's willing to give me another chance. But Edwards turned me down.
If anything happened to Edwards, Stevens would take his place as general manager of the road, wouldn't he? Stevens is for you.
Yeah.
Jordan, it's absolutely essential that you be reinstated as engineer of the Hurricane Express.
Well, I hope you're right. But you'll find the wrecker is a more important man than George.
Yes?
Mr. Edwards, that new type passenger engine is at the shops waiting for your inspection. Can you come down now?
I'll be right down there.
That checks, Bob. See that it gets out in 12 days, will you? Well, hello, HL. What brings you down here?
Why, didn't you telephone me that the new passenger engine had just arrived?
No. You know we didn't expect that engine till next month.
Look out! Look out!
That rope's cut deliberately. Somebody called you down here to kill you.
Telephone the detective bureau and get Matthews down here at once.
All right.
Stratton.
I told you I'd get him. Did you get the gold, too? No, but I'll get it.
Matthews, Mr. Edwards wants to see you in the shop right away.
I'm sorry this had to be, Stratton.
You've always been my friend, Stevens. You believe I'm innocent, don't you?
I wish I could, but the evidence against you was too conclusive.
But there was evidence that would have cleared me if Edwards had suppressed it. But I lived to see the dish.
Well, this sort of talk won't help you. Sit down. Let's talk this over quietly.
There's no doubt that this was another attempt on your life, Mr. Edwards. Have you any idea who might have done it?
There's only one man who hates me. Frank Stratton.
Wasn't Stratton. We just captured him out at the old mine.
What? You've got Stratton?
Yes, he's up in my office now. I thought you'd like to question him.
I certainly would.
Stratton slugged Hemingway with a paperweight. Then took his gun and held me up.
I must have taken the key to the handcuffs from poor Hemmy. They can't be very far away.
Oh, give me a drink of water, will you?
Time up, boy. I'm going to telephone the boss.
Yes.
Larry Baker gave the runaround. He's got away with the gold, and he's going to be at the meeting place at 8 o'clock.
He is, eh? Well, I'll be right there to meet him.
Shove him into that cooler. We'll make the train without his help.
Time's up. Now, don't forget, Matthews. If you hear a shot, close right in on us. Now for Mr. Wrecker.
Hemmy, the north side.
Right.
Pete, the west end. Dick, the south side. Now on your toes, boys.
Hands up. I've got you covered.
No, you haven't. Drop that gun, Baker. Can't see me, eh? Well, that's too bad. What did you do with the gold bars you took from my men today? Prized you, eh? Didn't think I was expecting you.
Something must have gone wrong. Well, I am not going to wait any longer. The wrecker's not going to get away from me this time.
For the last time, what did you do with that gold?
Well, go ahead and shoot. That's the signal the detectives are waiting for. Oh, it kind of worries you, eh?
The wrecker. I've killed him. It's Larry Baker. The man we met in the hall was the wrecker, wearing a mask.
Outside a lonely house, railroad detectives are waiting for a signal from Larry Baker, who believes that he has at last run to earth his father's murderer, the mysterious criminal known as the Wrecker.
Hands up, I've got you covered.
No, you haven't. Drop that gun, Baker. Can't see me, eh? Well, that's too bad. What did you do with the gold bars you took from my men today? Prized you, eh? Didn't think I was expecting you.
Something must have gone wrong. Well, I am not going to wait any longer. The wrecker's not going to get away from me this time.
Well, go ahead and shoot. That's the signal the detectives are waiting for. Oh, it kind of worries you, eh?
The wrecker. I've killed him. It's Larry Baker. The man we met in the hall was the wrecker, wearing a mask. You search the house. The rest of you outside. He can't be far away. Did you see any sign of him? The wrecker.
Baker's gone.
Stay where you are. I've got you at last. Take off that mask and let's see who you are.
It's the boss.
Grab hold here and get him out of the car.
Larry Baker. Say, what did you want to bring his body here for?
He's not dead, you fool.
He ain't. But you told us we were to...
I know what I said, but Baker knows where the gold is. We've got to make him talk first. Pull him out and see if you can bring him to.
He's dead to the world. You must have hit him an awful wallop.
Well, I can't wait till he recovers. I've got to get back to the office. If I'm not there in the morning, it may arouse suspicion. As soon as he comes to, make him talk and phone me.
Get that rope and we'll tie him up. I guess that'll hold him till he wakes up. Come on, let's finish our game. What's that? Sit down and play your hand. If you're going to jump every time a rat runs across this room, you'll give us all the willies. Be careful. They're in the next room and the door is open. Stall them as long as you can. I'll get word to Gloria to send help. No. That'll take too long. I have a better plan. The wrecker thinks I know where the gold shipment is hidden. Now, if I can trick him out into the open, we stand a good chance of capturing him. And his gang, too. Yes. How are you going to work it? Everything's okay. You can see for yourself. There's nothing to get jumpy about. Oh.
We hunted around for the rest of the night, Mr. Edwards, but we couldn't find a trace of the wrecker or how he got Larry Baker away.
You've got to find him. His mysterious attacks on the Hurricane Express are ruining this railroad.
Yes, and making plenty of business for Walter Gray's Air Transport Company.
How about Gray? Are you having him watched?
No, sir.
Well, do so at once. We've got to find Larry Baker and unmask the wrecker.
Hemingway, get over to the airport at once. Don't let Walter Gray get out of your sight.
Okay, Chief.
Come in.
Gloria, this is a pleasure. What brings you here?
Nothing, Mr. Gray, except that I've lost my job.
Oh. My previous offer still holds good. Why not come to work for me, Gloria?
Thank you. When do you want me to start?
Right now. I'll show you your office. I've held this in reserve for you a long time.
Hello, Mr. Jordan.
Morning. Can I have a word with you, Mr. Gray? Sure. Go right into my office. I'll be with you in a minute, Gloria. You're taking an awful chance having that girl in this office. No, nonsense. She can't do any harm.
And I tell you, we're under suspicion now. We gotta be careful.
Hello? Dad.
I've had a hard time trying to locate you, Gloria. Larry is leading the Wrecker's gang to Logan's flat. The Wrecker's going to meet them there. Larry is gambling with death. The Wrecker will kill him the moment that he finds out that he can't produce the gold. Get help at...
All right, Dad, I'll hurry. Mr. Edwards, please. Hello, Mr. Edwards. This is Gloria Martin. Larry Baker is planning to trap the Wrecker. If you send your detectives out to Logan's flat, you can capture him and his gang.
How do I know this isn't some trick of yours?
But Larry is taking this desperate chance to capture the Wrecker. You've got to believe me. I'll go out there with your men myself.
All right. I'll have Matthews round up his men and meet you in front of the building.
Quick, Mr. Hemingway. Mr. Edwards wants you. They're going to capture the Wrecker.
I've got to stay here and...
You've got to go. There isn't a moment to lose. When Larry's life is at stake.
Hey, what'd I tell you? They must have overheard us. What if they did? We'll beat them out there in my plane.
You get out there as fast as you can. I'll follow in my car. This is the place you said, Baker. Now show us where you've hidden the gold.
Well, I've got to get my bearings first. There was a landmark near this spot.
If there is any landmark around here, you could have seen it by now. Don't stall in, Baker, or I'll... in time.
Well, did you get it?
It looks like Baker's pulling a stall on us.
Quit stalling, Baker. Show us where the gold is, and be quick about it, or
you'll shoot me, is that it?
that's exactly what will happen.
Well, a fine chance you'll have of finding the gold with me dead.
I'll give you till the count of three to decide. Get ready, Barney. One, two, three.
The cop! I've got you. So you're the wrecker. You.
In a daring attempt to capture his father's murderer, the mysterious criminal known as the Wrecker, Larry Baker has accompanied the Wrecker's agents to a lonely spot where he has promised to reveal the hiding place of a valuable gold shipment that was stolen from the Hurricane Express. Meanwhile, his friend Gloria Martin is racing to his rescue with the railroad detectives. And in another car, Howard Edwards, the railroad manager, is also hurrying to forestall the Wrecker's vengeance.
If there is any landmark around here, you could have seen it by now. No stalling, Baker. Or I'll... The Wrecker. He's just in time.
Well, did you get it?
It looks like Baker's pulling a stall on us.
Quit stalling, Baker. Show us where the gold is, and be quick about it, or
you'll shoot me, is that it?
that's exactly what will happen.
Well, a fine chance you'll have of finding the gold with me dead.
I'll give you till the count of three to decide. Get ready, Barney. One,
2, 3.
The cops!
I've got you. You're the wrecker. You're...
Find the wrecker?
No. He made his getaway in that plane.
Put him in the car, boys. The wrecker used the mask of the man he killed.
First my father, and now Mr. Edwards. And Walter Gray murdered them.
Walter Gray, the wrecker? Say, that was one of his planes.
Yes, and no wager Gray was at the controls.
But that's impossible. Mr. Gray was at his office when I left the airport to come here.
That's just it. He had plenty of time to fly down here ahead of us. And you'll find that he's on his way back in that plane now.
Mr. Edwards always suspected Gray. He profited by the wrecker's attacks on the railroad.
We'll stop at the first phone and tell the police to watch for Gray at the airport and meet us there. Hello, Casey. Have you seen Walter Gray?
He landed here a few moments ago in one of his transport planes.
How many men were with him, Sergeant?
He was alone.
That's funny. I saw his gang take off in the plane with him.
Just what I thought. He's made an emergency landing to get rid of his gang. Otherwise, he'd have been here a long time ago.
Have you enough evidence to arrest him?
I think so. Let's have a showdown.
Come in. Hello, Gloria. Just get back. Bring in your notebook, will you?
Pardon me, Mr. Gray, but these gentlemen are waiting to see you.
Show them in.
Well, Mr. Gray, I'm going to get right down to brass tacks. Mr. Edwards has been killed.
You mean murdered?
Yes. And the evidence at the scene of the crime points to you as the murderer.
Evidence?
You left here in your plane early this morning and returned just a few moments ago. The murder was committed while you were away, and the murderer escaped in your plane.
Oh, nonsense. It couldn't have been my plane. I'd flown to Lone Pine on official business.
Can you prove that?
Yes, I can, and I will. Get me the Lone Pine office. Hello.
Hello. Sergeant Casey of the police department speaking. Yes? Did Walter Gray land the plane in your field this morning? He did. What time did he take off? Thanks. The story checks. I'm afraid you haven't enough evidence to hold this man.
Well, that telephone conversation means nothing. The agent at Lone Pine is one of Gray's own men. He'd swear to anything.
That's not so.
I tell you, Sergeant, he's the wrecker. He pulled the same trick before and escaped recognition by wearing a mask.
How do you know?
Well, judge for yourself. Mr. Edwards was warned that the wrecker was after the gold on the Hurricane Express. And when it was held up, the express car was cut off from the rest of the train in an attempt to save the gold.
Someone's getting away with the gold. Say, we can catch him in the plane.
I was in the engine cab at the time. We thought we had fooled the wrecker and saved the gold. That's how the express agent was killed. He was shot down from Walter Gray's plane.
What happened after that?
Well, they knew that we were in the engine cab, and
They got the jumper. We'll be scalded to death. The engine's stopping. Swing around, Sandy. We're landing.
I had nothing to do with the plane being there. It was stolen by the wrecker.
was the wrecker there? No, but his gang had their orders. They went to the express car to get the gold. And while they were getting the gold, I managed to overpower the pilot. And
all set to go, Sandy? Okay. Gray's plane that crashed. He made a landing near the scene of the holdup for his men to get the gold off the train. And Gray himself was arrested on the spot.
Why was he released?
Why, he always manages to get away by some trick alibi, just like he's trying to do now. I tell you, Sergeant, this man must not be left free to continue his crimes.
Matthews, if you will prefer the charges, I will arrest Gray right now.
All right, Sergeant.
Come along, Gray.
I'm not the wrecker. I'm one of his victims. Every time he strikes, he leaves evidence that incriminates me. Perhaps while I'm in jail, he'll strike again. It's the only thing that'll prove me innocent.
Gray has been arrested as a wrecker. If he is convicted, it'll prove that your father had nothing to do with any of these crimes.
Yes, but Dad must still remain a fugitive from justice.
Well, but not for long. The wrecker has the evidence that will prove that your father is innocent. And with his arrest, it's bound to turn up.
Hello. Yeah, Barney speaking. What? Gray, kids? All right, sure, right away. Come on, we've got to get busy.
That proves without a doubt that Walter Gray is the wrecker. It was his gang that helped him to escape. Matthews, my first order as the new general manager of this railroad is to you. Walter Gray must be recaptured and put behind the bars.
Yes, sir. There's positive proof, Mr. Stratton. If Gray were not the wrecker, his gang wouldn't have rescued him.
I don't understand it. I may be mistaken the man I suspect, but I know that Gray is not the wrecker.
But, Dad, how can you be so sure of that?
I can't tell you now, Gloria, but I know it.
Well, one thing is certain, Dad. You got to give the gold back to the railroad.
What? And give up the only chance that I have of forcing them to clear me?
Well, it's the best thing for you to do. Mr. Edwards' death has changed the situation entirely. And now we know that he wasn't holding back the information that would clear you.
Larry is right, Dad. The theft of the gold is the one charge they can prove against you. Give it back to them. The wrecker's the one we must get.
All right. I'll do it.
Oh, Dad.
You'd better be getting along, Gloria. I'll stay here with your father.
So you want your old job back, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Well, I never did believe that you were responsible for wrecking the Hurricane Express. Report for duty. I'll see that you get your old run back.
Thank you, sir.
That's all.
Thank you.
Hello? Yes? Stevens talking. Who? Stratton? You have the gold shipment that was stolen from the Hurricane Express?
You'll find it in the old Forsyth mine.
35 paces from the entrance to the North Tunnel. Is that right? All right, Stratton. I'll send the detectives as you suggest. I want you to know how I feel about this. You've shown a splendid spirit in telling us where the gold is. And if you're ever caught, I'll do my utmost to have your sentence lightened.
You rang for me?
Yes, Breton. Stratton has told me where the gold is hidden.
What?
And I want you and Hemingway to go and get it.
We ought to be getting close to the mine now.
Got me, Hemmy.
Just as I expected.
The wrecker's learned of your message to Stevens, and he's beating the railroad detectives to the goal. It won't be long now, Mr. Stratton. We'll wait till the wrecker's about to enter the mine, and then we'll spring our little surprise. The wrecker's not with them. He's outwitted us after all. You're not Stratton.
Come on, boys. This interfering fool won't trouble us again. All our enemies are out of the way, and the gold is ours.
sensational arrest of Walter Gray as the mysterious wrecker whose attacks have nearly ruined a great railroad, Larry Baker believes that he has at last brought to justice the man who murdered his father.
Gray has been arrested as a wrecker. If he's convicted, it'll prove that your father had nothing to do with any of these crimes.
Yes, but Dad must still remain a fugitive from justice.
But not for long. The wrecker has the evidence that will prove that your father is innocent. And with his arrest, it's bound to turn up.
But I know that Gray is not the wrecker.
But, Dad, how can you be so sure of that?
I can't tell you now, Gloria, but I know it.
Well, one thing is certain, Dad. You've got to give the gold back to the railroad.
What? And give up the only chance that I have of forcing them to clear me?
Well, it's the best thing for you to do. Mr. Edwards' death has changed the situation entirely. And now we know that he wasn't holding back the information that would clear you.
Larry is right, Dad. The theft of the gold is the one charge they can prove against you. Give it back to them. The record's the one we must get.
All right. I'll do it.
Oh, Dad.
Well, I never did believe that you were responsible for wrecking the Hurricane Express. Report for duty. I'll see that you get your old run back.
Thank you, sir.
That's all.
Thank you.
Hello? Yes? Stephen's talking. Who? Stratton? You have the gold chipper that was stolen from the Hurricane Express?
You'll find it in the old Forsyth mine.
35 paces from the entrance to the North Tunnel. Is that right?
You gotta hand it to the wreckers. I'll bet the detectives are howling yet about the way we rescued Gray. Fine chance you got of proving you ain't the wrecker now.
So that's the wrecker's game, huh? To fasten his guilt onto me.
Sure. That's why he let you live. While the police are hunting you, the wrecker will be sitting free and easy, with nobody suspecting him. He's smart, all right. Hello. Yes, it's the boss. Yeah, sure, Chief. Right away. The wrecker says the gold is hidden in the abandoned mine shaft. The railroad detectives are on their way there now. We've got to beat them to it.
The wrecker's learned of your message to Stevens, and he's leading the railroad detectives to the gold. It won't be long now, Mr. Stratton. We'll wait till the wrecker's about to enter the mine, and then we'll bring our little surprise. The wrecker's not with us. He's outwitted us after all. You're not Stratton.
Come on, boys. This interfering fool won't trouble us again. All our enemies are out of the way, and the gold is ours.
It's back! Don't you? It's the wrecker wearing a mask. See, he's given us a signal now. I thought you said you were going to wear Gray's mask. We nearly shot you by mistake. I had to change my plans the last minute in order to fool Baker. Get busy, boys. The gold's over here. Clear that stuff away. Hustle now. The gold is under it. The gold is left. They won't get it away from us this time. Sure looks good to me.
Don't move. I've got you covered.
Larry Baker. Okay, Larry, we've got him. It's Stratton himself.
Yes, thanks to Stratton, I've got you, and I'll get the wrecker, too.
All right, Gus, don't have it. Look out, Stratton. Duck for your life.
on track. I'll take care of Baker.
Larry Baker. The Wreckers gang has him cornered.
We gotta stop that machine gun first. Now we get the rest of the gang. The railroad detectives got us. We have to beat them.
Quick, Matthews! Stop! You're headed for the plane.
They gave us the slip again.
Yes, but they didn't get the goal. Come on, I'll tell you where it is. Well, there it is, Matthews. You showed up just in time to save it. Well, the sooner we get this stuff out of here, the better. I'll help you put it in your car.
Hello? Hello? Operator? This is an emergency call. Get me, Crestview, 4211.
Hello?
The Wreckers gang are holding me a prisoner in a warehouse near the freight yards.
Yes, Mr. Gray, I know where it is. I'll be right over.
Gloria.
Oh. Why didn't you want me to phone the police?
Well, the fact is, Gloria, I'm afraid the wrecker is your father.
Quick, hide, Gloria.
We'd have got the loot easy if those detectives hadn't showed up when they did. What are we going to tell the wrecker now?
So, you failed. Never mind the excuses now. We have one more chance to get our hands on the gold. Stevens has ordered it shipped on the Hurricane Express tonight. I'll be on the engine myself and stop it at the siding near Asphalt. The two of you be there with a cart to take the gold away. Get going now and see that there's no slipping up this time.
Come on. He won't get away. I tied the knots myself.
Now you believe my father's not the wrecker.
I never dreamed it was Jordan. Hurry, Gloria. We must go on the railroad.
No. If we do that, they'll never get the wrecker. Larry Baker's the one we must warn.
They should be here by this time, Larry. The Hurricane Express will be along in any minute.
Yeah. Here they come now.
Danny!
Baker's going after that train. We've got to stop him before he gets the wrecker.
What's the meaning of this, Jordan? Why, the wrecker struck me down, but Baker got him. And the wrecker is Gray after all.
No, he isn't.
Walter Gray. Then the wrecker's wearing a mask.
Bad shape. See if there's a doctor on the train, Bill. Help me get this mask off him, Heavy.
Mr. Stevens, the wrecker.
Oh, no.
Your father and I discovered the truth today, but we had no proof. That's why your father returned the gold to the railroad, to set a trap for Stephen.
So you got me, Matthews. But you wouldn't have done it if Baker hadn't... Leave me alone. You can't do anything to me. I can't last very long.
Stratton.
Wait. Stratton's innocent. I framed him. I wanted to be general manager, so I started to get rid of Stratton. Directors gave Edwards the job, so I had to use other means. I caused all the wrecks in order to ruin the railroad so that I could buy it at my own price. I meant to use the gold. It was advance my team. I'm sorry, Captain. I hope. I congratulate you, Stratton. When you're back as general manager of the railroad, I hope we can get together and merge our lines into a rail transport company, combining the best features of rural and air for our public service. And Larry, if you can forget the rotten way I've treated you, I would like to have you back as chief pilot. Thank you, Mr. Doyle. Get back to your cab, Jordan. The Hurricane Express must go through on time.